So here, add enough water to make sure that the soil is nice and moist. Where if you squeeze it, the whole ball. So this is the first part to prepare the soil for potting up into the nylon rope net basket reservoir method to grow Cephalotus. So in this step, I already have all the nylon cord set in this net basket, and I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cords. That will ensure enough contact with the soil that's going to go in here. The next thing is I add water to hydrate or just soak the cords. This just ensures that the nylon cords are wet. So when you put the soil in there, it's not going to just draw all the moisture away from your soil. So now that I have that ready, the next thing I'm going to do is wrap the pot with aluminum foil. And what this does is it will keep all the soil from escaping through all the holes in the net pot. That's what it looks like. Now, the next thing is to fill the pot. What I'm going to do is to transplant this tissue-grown Cephalotus that I've been growing out in this pot, approximately a 3-inch pot, 2.5-inch pot. And the reason I'm going to transplant this is because if we do a close-up, there is actually a stolon that has formed in the ground and is producing a new crown right up there. Right here. And this is rather unusual to have a juvenile plant producing a stolon and a new crown with foliage leaves, which I've not seen before. And this is a German giant crossed with a Czech giant. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing matures and what size pictures it will produce. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill the pot with soil. So you can see first the pot, and now I'm going to fill it with the soil. And here I am tamping it down gently to ensure there is good contact between the soil and the wick.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts.
And because this is going to be the size of the pot I'm transplanting to, I'm going to use this as a mold, and I'll fill in the rest. So as I'm doing this, I just want to make sure that the soil is pressed down firm but not tight. And I will fill it all the way to the top, just like that. Take the pot from the center out. Just like so. And you can see it is ready to go. So what I'll do now is take this plant, which you see here, right here, and I'm going to pop it out. That looks pretty good. Just make sure there's enough soil at the bottom. Just good contact. And I just flip it. And there you have it. Now once this is done, so now this is all transplanted. Now to remove the bag. Now for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use this jar. So now you can remove the foil. So none of the soil was spilled out of the pot, but you can see here. Now the next crucial step is this. After you put the plant into the pot, what I'm going to do now is gently water from the top until I see water dripping from the bottom and running down all of the nylon cords that you see here. Now you do want to be gentle with this step. And what you don't want to do is pour the water so fast that it starts just pouring out. So here I am, just gently just adding the water. A bit at a time. That ensures good saturation. So this step here will take several minutes before you see the nylon cord down here start to turn brown as the water that I'm adding at the top percolates through. So you just do this gently. And just wait. Now while we're waiting, you might notice there is an O-ring right here. This is not an O-ring, all it is just aquarium air tube that I cut to the circumference of the pot and just super glue it to both ends together. The reason for this is not only does it give this a good seal with this final container, but also as this plant grows and you're trying to lift it to add water to the reservoir. Imagine the plant's this big and all the pitchers are hanging over. You slide your fingers underneath and you can feel the O-ring, and then you can just lift it up and then lift up the pot to add water to the reservoir, like that, just like that. Now you can see that water has made its way through the bottom. You see that? So now we know that there is good connection between the soil and the nylon cord, and the system is now ready to go to its final container. And I'll just do it once more for good measure. And there you go. So here is this final resting home, which is the container that I use. And you can see I already marked it with 70 ounce. I placed the pot into the jar. Then I filled the container with water until it is just below the bottom of the pot right here. So that way water is never inside the pot. So the pot never sits in the water. It only gets its water from the nylon cord that is dangling beneath and into the reservoir. And using this as a demo, you can see do you see the green water line right here? So this is the 70 ounce mark. Now I'm going to take this setup, lift it, and string it over and paste it in here. So this is the way to pot your Cephalotus in this system. Now once this is done, what you do need to do is, one, ensure that all the cord down here is nice and moist, which it is. No soil there's no holes or gaps in the soil. We'll have the nylon cord. And monitor the soil surface to make sure it's always moist. And plus, if this is a new transplant, you'll need to keep the humidity high until it starts growing and acclimating. And for me, I use these stones, okay? And to acclimate them, what I do is I would punch holes on these stones. A couple every 2 to 3 weeks once I see the plant is growing well and not dying. And eventually, I will get to a dome that's so perforated that it looks like this. That looks like this. Like that. And then I will continue on punching holes until this whole thing is just full of holes. And then finally I will just lift it up and keep it like this. Now as you're inspecting the plant, and if you notice that the soil is dry, there are a few reasons for that. First, one, the soil during its preparation was not pre-moistened. Two, when filling the pot, where you have the aluminum foil covering the pot, the soil wasn't stamped down enough to have good contact with all of the cords. And then three, when you're watering on the top to have everything saturated and allowing the water to seep through all of the cords, either you're rushing it, and if you're rushing it, it would actually push soil out of these side holes of the pots. If everything is right, what you have is this system. Okay, now this is a closed system. There are no gaps, no holes. So the water in here, like I said, is below the bottom of the pot, and in your environment, the water in here also gives all the airspace in here 100% humidity. That humidity will be absorbed by the basket as well. So you're not just getting water that's wicked up these cords, you also have this 100% humidity environment surrounding the soil. So that's how this thing gets all of the moisture. If your soil is bone dry, I hate to tell you this, start over. And also, if the cords that you're using is not manufactured to these cords, or if it's a different manufacturers, you do risk the chance that the nylon cords may be coated or have some chemicals during the manufacturing process that is preventing the cords from absorbing the water and wicking water into the pot. So those are some things that you need to consider. Not all manufacturers who makes these cords are the same. And there you go. So from this point forward, if you want to be extra safe, you can continue to water from the top, but just make sure the volume of water here cannot exceed what you pre-measured as the level that is below the pot. So if you do want to water this from the top, what I do recommend is siphon water from the reservoir and then water it from the top. So you're not adding water to the reservoir, you're just taking water from the reservoir and applying it to the top. And once your plant starts to grow, you're set. And this is how you do it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. And see you next time.